Good morning, my friends. Here we are at Atrium I. It is so nice to be with you this morning. I hope you enjoy seeing your atrium. It's all ready for you when we can come back. But in the meantime, we're going to talk this way if that's okay with you. I have something special for you I wanted to talk to you about. We talked a little bit about it, but I want to talk some more about it if that's okay. Remember we talked about where Jesus lived and where he died and where he rose again. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about the cities that Jesus lived in, and we're going to talk about how Jesus got from one city to the next. How did Jesus travel? Were there mountains? Were there rivers? Were there seas? What kind of land did Jesus have to walk over? Let's find out, okay? All right. First of all, let's get our map out, okay? Mrs. Kelleher loves maps. I love geography. Here we have a map of Israel, the country where Jesus lived, okay? All right. This paper, again, talks about an area of Israel called Galilee, Samaria, Perea, Judea, and then there's this big sea called the Mediterranean Sea. I wonder if Jesus was on the sea. I bet he was. And look, there's a river, and there's a sea, the Sea of Galilee, and the Dead Sea. It's actually a sea. See, look, isn't that cool? So I bet Jesus saw that too. Let's see what else was in his country. Here is another map of Israel, but we're going to talk about the cities, okay? Way up here, at the top, up here, is a city called Nazareth. And we have a special symbol for Nazareth. Now, I wonder if anybody can remember what happened in Nazareth that was so special. Maybe this will give you a hint. Look at this. I'm going to put it right here. Right there. Nazareth. That's one of the cities that Jesus was in. It looks to me like he was way up at the top of the country. So Jesus would travel. Oh, he'd go through Samaria, Judea. And then there's a city here called Jerusalem. What happened in the city of Jerusalem? I wonder what happened in the city of Jerusalem. These are just little symbols. I want you to think about it, okay? So I would say Jerusalem was about right here. Well, then Jesus would travel some more. So here's Jerusalem. And then just not too far from Jerusalem is another big city that Jesus lived in. And it's called Bethlehem. What happened in Bethlehem? I wonder. I wonder what happened in Bethlehem that was so special. Remember when they saw a star? The wise men followed the star. So we're going to put that city right there. So these are the three major cities. We have Nazareth, Jerusalem, and Bethlehem. Now, let's talk a little bit about Jesus and the disciples when they walked all over. And they talked to everybody. And they talked about what Jesus said. And Jesus spoke to the people. And Jesus said, remember that was another class. We talked, remember Jesus would say things like, I am the good shepherd. And people followed Jesus, didn't they? All over. So let's use our imaginations, okay? I love to use my imagination. Let's use our imaginations, okay? All right, so let's say we're all traveling with Jesus, and we're in a city called Nazareth, way up here in Israel. And I want to get to Jerusalem. How am I going to get there? Well, you're right. Jesus walked. A donkey, yes. So if Jesus was walking, do you think he would run into a mountain? Do you see this brown part here? These are mountains and hills. And Jesus also came to big bodies of water. Look. And look. The Dead Sea. So do you think Jesus went to these places so that so everyone could get water and his animals could get water? Sure he did. And I bet Jesus, and I know he got on boats and he fished. He was a fisherman. So isn't that wonderful? So Jesus had a long walk, didn't he? Now, if he's in Jerusalem, he wants to get to Bethlehem. Is that a long walk? No, not too far. Not too far. There we go. So what we're going to do, I'm going to have some special pieces of work for you to do, and I'll have them at church this Sunday. And if you can't make it, they'll be in the office. But I'll have a map for you, and we'll talk about this later. But I want you to be able to see where Jesus lived and where he went, and think about how he got there. Now, let's use our imagination with something else. Did Jesus sleep in a hotel? No. Where did Jesus sleep along the way? Well, I think if Jesus started out here in Nazareth, and he's with his donkey and his friends, and they're walking, and oh, it's so late, they must go to sleep. Maybe they just slept right out in the open near a fire. Maybe they had a tent. Okay. And then they would keep on walking up the hills and the mountains. And I bet they saw the most beautiful things. Beautiful mountains and beautiful seas and trees. Beautiful people. I think Jesus and his friends met a lot of people while they were walking to the different cities. And they talked all about Jesus. And they talked all about the Good Shepherd. And they talked all about the good sheep. And Jesus talked about how much he loves everybody. Isn't that beautiful, boys and girls? Isn't that lovely? And you know what? One day when you're older, all grown up, I bet you're going to go to Israel one day. And I bet you'll see the holy cities. And I pray that you do, because you will love it. Okay? So these cities are still there. They're still there in Israel. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you. What I'm going to give you as another practice is this paper. And I have for you all the pieces that you need. All you're going to have to do is to glue this on. There's a symbol for what city? You're right. And I have a symbol for the next city. And what city is that? And I have a symbol for the next city. Okay. So you're going to glue those on. I also have, again, for you to learn and practice, is I have indeed the different parts of Israel for you. Okay? So that'll be just another extension of work. And then I have something I'd like to ask you to do. It's something special. I hope you don't mind. I hope, if you have time, that you can write on a little piece of paper or a big piece of paper, whatever you want. If you just want to write or draw pictures or both of Jesus traveling from one city to the next. Use your imagination. You can draw a picture of Jesus here in Nazareth. And he's getting ready for a journey. You could draw a picture of the Good Shepherd maybe on a donkey walking. And what would, the Good Shepherd always had his staff. And he always had a little bag on him when he had his food and everything in them. Use your imaginations, okay? And you can show a picture of Jesus walking through valleys and water and mountains and hills. Use your imagination. I can't wait to see them. I bet they're beautiful. And if you do draw one, you could have your mom and dad send it to me because I would love to see it. All right, boys and girls, I love you very, very much, and the Good Shepherd loves you so, so much. So let's use our imaginations and travel to Israel. I know I'm silly. I can't help it. I love you. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Oh, and look out for something special. I'm going to be reading a special book to you sometime soon. We'll let you know.